Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. MMT is the agency that runs this Facebook group, as well as several others that are focused on different destinations. We are a You Preferred travel agency with Universal Parks and Resorts, and we were also chosen by them as the top travel agency in the country for 2019. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent video panel series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every week. And we are so excited tonight to get to talk with you about A Marvelous Guide to Universal Orlando, which is the brand new guidebook that was just released by Marvelous Mouse Travels. And so we definitely want to save some time as well at the end of the video to take your questions, whether it's about the guidebook or about Universal Orlando in general. We are just excited to get to talk with you. So at any point tonight, if you do have a question, feel free to go ahead and drop that into the comments, and we will reserve some time at the end to make our way through those questions. We are live tonight using a program known as StreamYard. And so StreamYard might ask you, if you want to post a question, to approve it to display your username and profile picture. Just know that you don't have to grant that permission. You can just decline that and still post your question anonymously if you would like to. But I am joined tonight by 5 of the authors of A Marvelous Guide to Universal Orlando. And the authors who weren't able to join us tonight, we want to still mention them. They are our agency owner, Carrie Dillon, Rochelle Murphy, Brittany Lepicki, Maria Beener, Molly Davis, and Jenna Conkle. But ladies, for those of you who are here, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you will please just take a couple of minutes to introduce yourself, tell us how long you've been with the agency, and give us the best way for people to contact you if they are interested in planning a vacation.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sonia with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I have been with the agency since November of 2016. You can reach me by email on the screen, sonia@marvelousmousetravels.com, or you can visit my Facebook page at Sonia MMT.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jody Graham with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I've been with the agency since May of 2017. The best way to reach me is at the email address that you see below, or you can check out my Facebook page at Jody Marvelous Mouse Travels.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I've been with Marvelous Mouse for about 5 years now. Best way to contact me is through this email, chelsea@marvelousmousetravels.com. You can also find me on Facebook, which is the same thing, Chelsea Marvelous Mouse Travels, or on Instagram, which is at Chelsea MMT.
Hi, I'm Quinn. I'm with marvelousmousetravels.com, and I've been with MMT since the spring of 2020, so almost a year anniversary coming up. You can reach me at quinn@marvelousmousetravels.com, or at my Facebook at Quinn Lacey at Marvelous Mouse Travels, or Instagram at Quinn Lacey-MMT.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brenda Schrufer, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I've been with Marvelous Mouse Travels for about 3 years now. You can reach me via email on the screen, brenda.schrufer@marvelousmousetravels.com, or on my Facebook page at Brenda Schrufer at Marvelous Mouse Travels.
And again, I'm Ginger. Now, I am not one of the authors of this book, but I am an agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I'm about to come up on my 3-year anniversary. And the best way to get in touch with me is actually my blog, which is gingermmt.com. So, ladies, I'm going to start by asking just kind of about the background and history of A Marvelous Guide to Universal Orlando. So, what inspired you guys to write this guidebook?
So I think we started a year ago, so it was actually last January. I think we were kind of coming off of winning the award, which was Universal's first ever Top Travel Agency Award. And we were really excited. We all, as an agency, collectively love Universal. They treat us very well. They treat our clients well. We love the parks and resorts themselves. So I think we just were like, you know what? There's really nothing out there like this. There's no real true guides that encompass everything that Universal has. So we wanted to take advantage of that and share not only our knowledge of the parks, but our love for it as well.
Mhm. Anybody want to elaborate on that, or you think Chelsea did a good job? Like, what inspired some of you guys, maybe personally, to be a part of this project?
I think that Chelsea summed that up very well. Some of us agents like came into the project a few months after the initial starting of the book. And, we all did with great enthusiasm, myself as well. Like I love Universal. It's a destination that I travel to frequently with my family. And, I was super excited to be a part of the project, to just, as Chelsea said, to share our, knowledge, our expertise. And it is such a great partnership between Universal and Marvelous Mouse Travels. So it was just an easy thing to, want to get into and elaborate on.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of expertise, what types of planning advice or tips will readers find in this guidebook?
So for the readers that purchase our book, they will find anything from information about every resort on property, which resorts have ADA accommodations, such as roll-in showers or wheelchair accessible rooms, to a drinking around Universal challenge, which is obviously for those who want to try some different drinks in the parks. We also have itineraries in there, as well as dining plan information. So it's such a comprehensive book that really anyone who's planning a trip to Universal will want to get their hands on it.
Mm-hmm. And, speaking of how comprehensive this book is as a planning resource, why do you think, because obviously you're agents too, so why do you think that it's still important for consumers to book their Universal vacation through a travel agent, even though they do have this resource available now?
Well, so many reasons. Who was going to talk? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's important for our clients to still use us because things change.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we wrote this book and we wrote with the intention to be able to update it, hopefully on a yearly basis, but things change weekly and daily. And a lot of times we get, questions emailed to us or on our Facebook post, and they say, are these regulations still intact for COVID? Or are they, being more lenient on the mask wearing and how social distancing going? Just different things like that. So those are things that we can't, publish in a book now and update it in 2 or 3 weeks. So it's still very imperative that they utilize us because we're up to date. We keep in touch and we get updates on a daily basis, on an hourly basis about the changes and things that are coming, things that are going. So that's why it's still important to use an agent.
Yeah, great point.
And we are also obviously live. We're live humans that we interact, on email, text messages. We are constantly in communication with our clients. So we will get back to you when someone has a question versus, a book cannot answer your question if you have, something that's not addressed in the book, as well as when promos are released, we are sure to apply those promos to save everyone money.
That's a great point.
Definitely. And then just the other little fun fact about how if you book your tickets through Marvelous Mouse Travels, you get 1 hour early entry, which if you book on the consumer site, you do not get. So that is a benefit that is exclusive to booking only with a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent. So even if you have the book, you certainly will not get that benefit unless you book with a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I was thinking through that a little bit too, when I was coming up with the questions that I was going to ask you guys tonight. And, it was actually my husband that made a really good point. And he was like, no book can wait on hold with Universal for you, but your travel agent will. So, obviously if anything goes wrong, I think still having that personal customer service, but my goodness, you put having an agent who is a live human, who's monitoring for discounts and handling any issues together with a comprehensive resource like this, and you've got a powerful combination for a wonderful vacation experience. Just having, I have a copy of the book, I purchased it when it first came out too, and have been making my way through it. And I have just been, so impressed, even as an agent who knows a lot of this stuff already, just going back through it and even, learning and kind of adding to the things that I already know about Universal. And so for me, it's been, and I do this all the time, but for me, it's been a a really helpful resource too. So I definitely can see it being something that, people who are planning their own trip, especially your first trip, it being a great resource for them too. So, ladies, this is kind of a personal question, but what element of the book are you most proud of as an author?
For me, it's the Wizarding World section. Which I love it so much, and I was so excited to have a hand in writing part of that section. Um, so I'm just so proud of that because I I feel like from some of the feedback, people really understood like how much I love this and how much that means to me. So to see that in the feedback of people who have purchased the book just makes it like so much better than I could have imagined.
Yeah. Chelsea is a huge Harry Potter fan. For people maybe who don't know Chelsea, she is one of the biggest Harry Potter fans I know.
Gosh.
I've got like my stack of wands behind me. Like
Anybody else want to share?
For me, I think it was just a labor of love for all of us because we just love Universal so much. The elements of the book that I'm most proud of are the additional things that we added that would be great for our clients, including the Universal for Kids section, the Universal for Adults section that includes that Drinking Around the Universe challenge. I'm very proud that we were able to create our own drink to put on that challenge that you can get at Finnegan's, the Marvelous Mule. And then also, there's the best photo location section, and there's just a lot of really great touches to the book.
Mm-hmm.
We also have some Marvelous Mouse Travels pro tips in there that obviously you won't find anywhere except from us in the book. So as well as we have a sneak peek into some things that we will be seeing at Universal. So
yeah,
you'll be certain to read that.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that has been said. The pro tips are great, and then just that like we've all been to Universal, we've all stayed at the majority of the resorts. So when you see like restaurant recommendations, we've eaten there. We're giving you actual what our favorites are. We're telling you these insider tips at all the different resorts, and like from Hard Rock. Checking out, you can have your resort room key turned into a guitar pick type of thing. Little insider tips that you would not otherwise know if you didn't have this guide. And just Chelsea, of course, piggybacking off of her, she is the Wizarding World expert. Her guide on Wizarding World is second to none. I mean, I don't think you'll find a more comprehensive guide, and we have itineraries for every park, suggested itineraries. We've all been multiple times. How you can tour the parks if you are a family with children 8 and under, how you can tour the parks if you have teens, how you can specifically just tour the Wizarding World. So it's just very, very fine-tuned in every way. So we are all so proud of it.
Yeah, and you should be. You should be. So speaking of the book, we've obviously plugged it quite a bit and talked about, all of the great resources that can be found there. But where can people find a copy of this book and purchase a copy of this book for themselves?
Well, definitely Amazon right now. I don't know if anyone else wants to speak to this.
There you go.
Amazon.com.
And there's links, throughout this group. I think there is a pinned announcement in this group, actually, on the main MMT page. You'll find them. You just search the name in the group as well. But if you search on Amazon, Marvelous Guide to Universal, it's a digital download. It says it's a Kindle download. You do not need a Kindle to read it. You can view it on your desktop. You can view it on your phone. Or iPad. You just download the Kindle app, which is free. So you don't need like the actual Kindle to do that. So that is a question that's come up a lot. It's unfortunately not in paperback. We're taking baby steps on that. But the good thing about it being digital is when you're in the parks or in the resort, you can just pull it up on your phone, flip through to what you need. You're not carrying a bulky book around like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it's $14.99 right now before tax, which is a fantastic value, considering the fact that this is 600 pages worth of resources for Universal. You're getting that for, I mean, I can't do the math on that in my head, but I mean that's a crazy amount of pages for that amount. So it's a pretty awesome deal. So definitely, like these ladies have mentioned, I do not have a Kindle, but I was able to, get it through my Kindle app, and I have it there with all of my Harry Potter books and all of my other stuff that I have in my Kindle app. And so it's awesome. So I'm think with, unless there's anything else that anybody wants to kind of say that we haven't gotten to yet, feel free to do that now. But if you ladies have shared everything that you have, then we're going to kind of turn to our comments here and see if we have any questions. So let's see here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Hi. And hello. A lot of greetings. Well, I think what that means, ladies, is y'all did such a good job answering all the questions that nobody had anything to follow up with. So just remember, too, that if you are watching this video after the live has actually ended, we are going to keep this video in the group. And so if you do have a question, you can drop that into the comments even after the live portion of this has ended, and we can come back and we can answer that for you again, even if you weren't able to join us tonight live. So you haven't lost your opportunity to ask us questions just because maybe you weren't able to actually watch us on the live portion. But we are so thankful for those of you who joined in and who watched this video. I'm thankful to all of these ladies for being here and taking time out of their Sunday night to talk about the book. This is, like they said, it was such a labor of love for them. It was over a year in the making, and they are proud of it and they should be proud of it. But as an agency, we are proud of them and the work and the blood, sweat, and tears and hours that went into creating this resource. So a huge kudos to all of you ladies from me, representing the agency, for what you have achieved. It's just an incredible accomplishment, and thank you for sharing it with us. And thank you so much for those of you who have watched this tonight. We will actually be live again in this group in 2 weeks. And we will actually be covering one of the topics that you can find in the guidebook. And that is, what is there at Universal for young children? So we will be chatting about that. And then on March 14th, we will be in our Disney World group, where we are talking about the best restaurants, in our opinion, at Walt Disney World. So if you would like information about planning a trip to Universal or to any other destination from any of the agents that you heard from tonight, feel free to reach out. Remember that booking your vacation through a Marvelous Mouse Travels agent is the same price as booking it yourself directly through the vendor, because we are paid by the vendor after you travel. So you do not pay your agent a dime, and yet you get to benefit from a wealth of information and personal experiences that they have to share with you. So thanks again for joining us tonight, everyone, and we hope to see you again for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.